Hey guys, it's Trishant. Welcome to Cybernetico. Today we will create an application that will help us to search our bank according to IFSC code. So first we will type the bank IFSC code in the search bar. So BARB0 JAKKAN. Now our bank details are showing up here. So bank name, bank city and state, bank address, and the bank IFSC code. So I am creating this application because if you want to open up your account in any bank, you can just type the IFSC code here and visit the address to open up your account. So I am using this API called API Razorpay IFSC Toolkit. So let's get started. So let's start creating the application. So first we will just type npx create react app and the app name, which is, let's make it Razorpay bank finder because it is cool. Okay, then we will use React semantic UI. We need to install it because it looks cool and I love it. So to install it, we will use this command called yarn add blah 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 npm install blah blah blah. So you can see here. Let's wait for it to finish. Okay. No. Still installing. Huh? So we need to navigate into that folder first. So open up bank finder, Razorpay bank finder. Then we will install using terminal. So yarn add semantic UI react semantic UI css. Let's create a folder here called components, and inside we will create a file or component called bank search.js. So here we need two files, or let's say three files. So app.js, bank search.js, and app.css. So clean app.css. Now we need to import inside index file, index.js. So paste it and save. We don't need this code, so let's remove it. Sorry. Also logo SVG. Now let's start the project. So just type npm start. Our project is now running. So now let's create the search function and the UI, or the UI and the search function first. Now to create this application, we need a search bar. But first I think we need to import this bank search component inside our app.js. So import bank search from components buying search, then return it in the function bank search. So make it functional component type RFC, and let's type something buying search component. Save it. You see, we are getting our output in this Chrome UI or Chrome browser. Now let's do what should we do now. Now we need a search bar. So let's find input. Then we can use this one with an icon. So copy, try it, and copy this input icon search with placeholder search. Replace this bank search component, and we also need to import it. Import input from semantic UI React. Now let's check it is compiling. Still compiling. Okay, it's compiled now. You see we have search bar here, but let's make it in the center. So give it a class name of, or I think in the documentation of search we can use centered here also. Centered. No, we don't have centered here. So let's make it using this CSS, plain old CSS. So let's make it main body, class name of main body. Then copy this main body and inside app.css paste it. Now we will use text align center. Fine. Padding 30px. Let's try 30. Okay, we have the search here now. Now the next thing we need is a card to show this data inside this UI. So we can use card. So search card here. We need a card without the image. So let's see header. Okay, this is fine. This card. So let's copy this card and paste inside this bank search after input. So we need to import card from semantic UI React. So card card. Save. You see we have the card here, and we can make this card as centered. And now you see it is a perfect center. We can also make this card a little bit bigger, or let's try fluid. I think fluid is too large, so just use without fluid. Let's see for search. Let's find size. We don't have size, so let's use plain old CSS. So class name bank info card. Copy this bank info card and paste it after paste in app.css. So width should be, let's make it 400 pixels px. Not working because we need to use important. You see the width is now larger. Then let's make the height to 100 px, also important. 200. Okay, 200 is fine. So now we have the card and the search. So now let's try this API now. We have the bank, IFSC branch, blah 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 blah, everything. So press API docs here. Now the API is this https ifsc-razorpay.com. So we need to call the API. So just type, we need to install Axios. So npm I Axios to install Axios here. Wait for it to install. Now let's call the API. So in app.js, we will import Axios from Axios. Then inside this function, we will create a use effect hook. So you see our use effect hook has been imported automatically, but not here. So use effect. Okay, use effect. Okay, now it's fine. Then we will use axios.get curly brackets, this API endpoint, paste it here. Then we need to pass IFSC here only one time. So then response, upcoming response, console.log response.data. Now let's check what we are getting. Open up console. So I think we are not getting anything. Why? Let's check network. Refresh the page. Okay, we are passing the wrong code of IFSC. So for sample code, let's pass my home bank branch. So BARPO 0 JAKKN. Save. Still nothing. We don't need this semicolon. Okay. Now it is fine. So you see we are getting the data here of my home branch near Gaudiya Mart, whatever, falna, bank code, Barb, not Barbara, sender Patna, city Patna, number IMPS, MICR, etc, UPI true, state Bihar. Fine. Then we need to use this as a dynamic entry. So then we need to create a state here. So import state from use state hook. Use state. Create a state called const search term set search term equal to use state and string, because the data we will put inside this search bar will be a string. Then set search term, on change, set search term as e.target dot value and pass e as parameter inside this on change event handler. Then we need to pass the data inside this app.js. So this is a little tricky because it is a trick. It's not a valid trick, but still we can use it. So let's do that. So what? So we will create a function here, const search bank search. Make it an arrow function. Then let's pass the data here. So search term inside this search term, or I think we are doing it wrong. We don't need this here. We can do something like this. So we need to create this search term inside our app.js. So initially we will pass the data here. So bank search as bank search, but we are not passing the data, we are passing the function here, and you will see how it works. And then we will receive this function inside bank search. Then we will set search, then we will call this set search term and pass bank search here. I don't know what I'm saying. So here I am passing bank search function as props, and here I am receiving it. Then on change of this search bar, if we type anything here, this bank search function will run, and it will pass this data e.target.value to this app.js. So let's try console.log bank data, and we receive this bank data here. We are passing e.target.value, the value of this search term, and we are passing the value here, and then we are receiving the value here in this app.js. Don't worry, I will come back to it. So clear the refresh the page and then clear the console. Let's type something. So let's say Nishant, and you see we are getting our name here, Nishant. Now we need to create a state. So instead of creating state here, we need to create state inside app.js. So after function app, import use state also. So now we have importing use state, and we have a state called set search term. So set search term response dot data. Then search term, we will use this search term state to append the API call. So dollar and search term. Now let's check. So whatever will we get, whatever we type here inside search term, it will call the API and fetch the data here. So let's type BA console, wait a second, console.log, let's say what are response.data. Now let's check. Type here BAR B0 JAKKAN. Nothing is happening. Refresh the page. Okay, we need to paste this search term inside our dependency array. So if our search term changes, this API will get called every time. Save it. So we are getting an error here, not found. Let's check the network. Refresh. Paste here. Failed to load response data. So now let's check the headers, what we are sending here. We are sending nothing. How that? So now let's try again. Console set search term is assigned a value but is never used. Search term. Okay. We are not setting the search term here first. What I am doing here? So set search term bank data. Now let's check bank data. Where is it? Line number 9. What is happening here? Set search term. Now let's check. So let's type here B A R B O 0 J A double K N. Now you see we are getting this data in our console. Line number 15. Okay, fine. So we are getting address, name, bank code, branch, center, city, contact, everything. Now we need to send this search term data. Now we need to create a one more state. It will be an, let's check what is it here. So it is an object, not an array. So we will create an object here, object state. So const search data set searched data. So use state and one empty object. Then we will use set search data here, not search term. Sorry. And we will send this search data in our bank search component as props, like this. Then we need to receive it here. So remove use state, then search data, and let's console.log this search data. Open up the console. Here we don't need, okay, fine. So you see we are getting object here which is says nothing because we have nothing inside this. So let's type something. BAR B0 JAKKN. So you see we are getting this object data inside our bank search component as search data. So you see now the API call is complete, and now we need to feed the data inside this card component, card data or card. Now let's add the data here. So in object, first we have the header. So let's use bank name. So remove Matthew Harris and just type search data dot address. Oh wait, sorry, bank, not address. Now we have the bank name called Bank of Baroda. Then we have coworker rate. So let's choose the state and city. So remove coworker. Wait, this isn't Angular, it's React, sorry. So we will use city, then state, save. Okay, wait, search data dot city and search data dot state. So you see we are getting Patna, Bihar here. Now the third is this. So let's use address here. So just type search data dot address. Now you see we are getting address here. Now what should we use? Let's try IFSC. So just type card, just use card meta and type IFSE. So IFSC save. So we are getting IFSC code also here. Now let's try, or let's add UPI availability. So we will use okay, we don't need, let's not add UPI because it's available at most of the banks. No, nothing. So I think this is all, this data, because now we have the address, the city, not the country, we have the city, state, address and IFSC code. So we can also IFSC is this one, address is this one, location, no, state, okay, I think this is fine. So we have address, IFSC, let's give this IFSC a padding or a margin. So margin top of 10. I think we need to give 2 curly brackets. Now you see we have the IFSC here. Now what should we do? Address, okay, fine. Now let's make this card header a little bigger. So style, font size 40 or 140. Okay, 140 is too big, so let's go with 20. 30. Okay, 30 is fine. I think this is all we need. We have the name, bank, branch, address, IFSC code and the city and the state. So that's all guys. Thank you for your time. Now I'm expecting you all that you have liked this video and subscribed to my channel. Now let's do one more thing. Let's recap what we have done so far. So first we have two components, two files. First is app.js file, and inside app.js we are calling this bank search component. Fine. Then inside this bank search we have this search bar, search input and a card which shows our bank details. Now inside this input we are passing this value of the input inside a function called bank search, and the bank search is located in app.js. So we are passing this function as props. Generally we pass props from parent to child, but here we are passing props from child to parent, which is a hack if you say so, because you see we are passing bank search, we are passing bank search here. So bank search we are passing here, and then we are receiving bank search function, and we are calling the function every time this input changes. So now the next thing is we are using the bank search function here, and we are calling the API using useEffect hook. So you know useEffect, access.get, then response. Then we are setting the search data inside a state called searched data, which is an object. So now we have search data, and we are passing the search data inside our bank search, and we are receiving it inside our bank search component. So then we are using searched data to populate our data. So we have bank name, state and city, address and IFSC code. I think that's all. So please like if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't, and comment if you haven't. Bye.